time. And
You go first, Al.
I'm Al McKee from San Francisco area, San Francisco, California, just north of there, Tiburon.
And I'm Diane Winters, and I'm from the same place, but it's more specifically Tiburon, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Now you've been here,
California.
California. You've been here on a rather unusual and interesting tour. Would one of you want to start off sharing a little bit about what you've been doing on the tour and what kind of people you've been meeting?
Well, we visited with a Palestinian group and Palestinian territory for starters, and then came to the Jewish side of the story, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Did you feel that you were able to meet enough variety of people that it gave you the opportunity to hear different opinions, different perspectives, as well as seeing their different modes of life and what they face on both sides?
I think it's a little difficult having to meet with a wide variety of people, but I think that Ramallah was most interesting, and hearing the Palestinian side. The Israeli side is pretty much how I expected, but and I think I would have liked to have gotten a better idea of how most Palestinians feel, most Israelis, the street person, how they feel as far as the Palestinian issue. The Palestinian issue, I think, is pretty consistent with the people that we've met. And I really didn't expect to come away with answers, but I certainly have come away with a better feeling for how they live and can appreciate what they're going through, as well as the Israelis.
Were there any surprises to either of you? I know, Al, you were here quite a number of years ago. Were there any preconceived notions you had prior to coming here that perhaps were modified or enlightened or changed in any way?
I would say that the only thing that I'm aware of that was different from the way I had thought about it was when I heard that there had been a poll of the Israeli Palestinians, and that something like 80% of them, as I understand it, had said that in response to the poll, that they, if given the choice, they would stay where they are within Israel and not move to an Arab country.
And I think it was also that given the choice of whether they would be under Palestinian leadership governance versus Israeli governance, this is the type of poll you're referring to.
Yeah, and this is exactly. And it's quite a bit different from the way I had been assuming that they were in the same category as the other Palestinians, those in the West Bank and Gaza, as well as Israeli Palestinians, with the total of roughly 6 million of those versus 6 million Jews is rough parity demographically.
You mentioned the West Bank, which you were, as you noted, you were based in Ramallah, and you were there a number of nights, and seeing it from that perspective. As you know, and many of the American public always have the concern with the U.S. State Department has a warning about traveling in those areas. At any time in the trip, did you feel physically unsafe? Did you feel insecure? Or can you describe a little bit about your reaction to that?
No, I didn't feel insecure. I didn't feel unsafe. I was a little taken aback by these checkpoints of what the Palestinians have to go through, and the manner in which it happens. I think I didn't, as I said, didn't feel unsafe or insecure about it, but the only thing that at the time I was worried the most, and I guess maybe insecurity, not so much safety, was my entry into the airport.
Well, Diane and Al, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you, first of all, for being on the trip, but thank you for sharing with us your impressions. Any final notes you'd like to add in any way?
Only that I thought that interview or discussion with the general was very, very informative.
Israeli general.
Israeli general, exactly. I would have assumed that a general officer, senior military officer in general, would take a right-wing stand, but not necessarily. He was very moderate, and I thought it was interesting to hear a very moderate view like that from a general.
Well, again, thank you both for sharing with us in this interview, and most of all, thank you for being here.
Thank you.